Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Last time we learned that the three guna are born out of Prakriti, and it is they who keep the jeev in bondage. What is the bondage they keep us in? It is the cycle of karma and karam phal, and it results in the cycle of birth and death. So the three gunas bind us by putting us in karam and karam phal, and that karam and karam phal results in birth and death. Karma is only possible in human body. Karma is only possible in human body. And the human body has to be complete. By complete, I mean mind, intellect, and consciousness, everything should be complete. If there is any deficiency in mind or buddhi or chetana, that in that body jeev cannot perform any karma. So that becomes just like all other animals are same way. They don't have fully developed mind, they don't have fully developed buddhi, and so they cannot do karma. That yoni is only for bhog of karam phal. They only come here for the duration and do the bhog, and then they go. Now, why do human beings get in bondage by karma? Why not animals? Because they are here only for bhog, not doing karma. They are not here to do karma, so they can never get in bondage. So, if a lion kills any animal, other animal to eat, he doesn't get any sin. There is no karma involved in there. That is his bhog. And other animals' bhog is to be killed by that lion. Devata is working there, and that's how it is. They can never do any karma. See, the consequence of karma is karam phal and its bhog. So, three gunas bind us by involving us into doing the karma, and that karma comes into karam phal and karam phal bhog, and then we are here to do that bhog. And while doing that as a human being, we perform new karma, and its cycle keeps going on and on and on. We cannot get out. That is what in the song says, Dukh, Sukh, Do Kinare. Dukh and Sukh. They are two, that's all we are going back and forth into it. When a child is born, everybody is very happy. Okay? Right? When a person gets old, nobody wants him. Okay? We all are afraid of death. For what? Why be afraid of truth? It doesn't make any sense. Right? Truth doesn't hurt anybody. So, and we also saw that whatever bhog is to be administered to the jeev, an appropriate body is produced and the jeev is placed in it for the time period of the bhog. We saw that last time. If we have done any karma and it will result in a karma phal, then Devata will create a body for that particular phal, designed for that phal. Okay? And place that jeev in there for the duration of the bhog. That is why otherwise everybody will be same way. But some people get sick, some people are healthy, some people are short, some people are tall, some people. That's all karma phal. That's all it is. The cycle goes on and on. All this goes on under the control of the Maya, Prakriti, the primordial power of Ishwar. So ultimately, who is in control? It is Ishwar who is in control, nobody else. Now Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling Arjun the characteristics and nature of these three gunas. What these three gunas are. What are they? How can you say this guna is this and this guna is that? Which bind the imperishable jeev in the body. So these three gunas which bind the imperishable. Jeev is imperishable. It's nitya. Nothing can be done to it. But they do bind the jeev. So what are these three gunas about? What are these gunas? Please note the guna born of the Prakriti can only bind fast the jeev in a body, but can do nothing to the jeev sarup. Jeev itself, guna can do anything. They don't even know what jeev is. They can do nothing to it. Only thing they do is to entice jeev to do certain things and bind him into going into certain body for karampal bhog. Because jeev is immutable. Jeev cannot be changed. Nobody can do anything to it. Achedyoham, abhedyoham. In second chapter, Bhagavan told. As we read in chapter 13, Shlok 20, the Prakriti is said to be the cause for bringing forth the evolutes, the three gunas, and instruments, the Chatushtai and the senses. So Prakriti brings in the three gunas and Chatushtai. It's all under Prakriti. And the senses. The attachment to these causes the experience of pleasure and pain to jeev. When jeev gets attached to man, buddhi, chatushtai, or to senses, it causes pleasure and pain. We also learned in chapter 3, Shlok 28, that the one who has insight into the sphere of gunas and their actions, see, gunas are acting. Devta come later. Gunas are acting. Gunas and their actions know that it is the guna in the shape of mind and senses. It is the guna in the shape of mind and senses. Guna are both in mind and also in senses. They are there. That move among the gunas. Pay attention. Gunas are moving among the gunas, which are the object of perception, which is our perception. We perceive certain things to be some way. That is also being done by the gunas. So three gunas, these gunas are moving in the sphere in the mind and senses and into our perception which we perceive through the mind and sense. There also guna is working. So Jnani knows that. And thus stays on the sideline without getting attached to this, what's happening. This activity, the Jnani doesn't, he knows. That's what Jnana is. Knowing what is happening, who is doing it, how it is being done, and am I involved in it or not? Or is it good for me or not? That's what Jnana is. Once you know that, you know the fire is going to burn, right? So you stay away from the fire, don't you? You know the storm is coming, hide yourself, protect yourself. Right? So these gunas are doing this, all this storm and rain, this is all gunas work, Prakriti's work. Okay? So it says guna guneshu vartante. Vartan means working within guna. Guna is working within the guna, through the guna. Itmatva nasajjate. Knowing that, he does not get involved. He stays on sideline. And that what we will call drashtva. He only sees, he doesn't get involved into the game of the prakriti, which gunas are playing in there. Last time we called this person a silent watcher, drashtva. Now we go into slok 6.
Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakamanāmayam sukha sangena badhnati jnana sangena chanagha.
Anag, Bhagavan Krishna here calls Arjun as Anag, or sinless. Because Arjun has all this gyan so far. So a lot of his sins are washed away. He's working for Bhagavan. He's not doing on his own. So Bhagavan calls him, O sinless, Tatra Satyam. Among the three gunas, the Sattva, Tatra means among the three gunas, Sattvam. Sattvam means the Sattva. The Satogun is what it is? Nirmalatyat, because of its purity. Satogun is pure. Stainlessness. Stainless steel, you can always keep it clean, right? So, but it gets dirty too, don't it? So same way, the Sattva is stainless and is pure, or being immaculate, it's immaculate. It is prakashakam. It is illuminating. Things which shine will illuminate, won't it? So Sattva is pure. Sattva is stainless, immaculate. It is prakashakam. It is illuminating. It is luminous. It has its own luminosity. Sattva. And anamayam. It is free of vikar. Therefore, bandhati. It binds through. It still binds because one of the three gunas. So how does it bind? It binds through sukha sangen. Attachment to happiness, that I am happy. When you feel real happy and you say, acknowledge I am happy, Satoguna is going to bind you. And I am wise, jnani, jnana sangen. Bhagavan tells Arjun, the Sat is luminous because it is nirmal, it is pure or stainless, relative to Rajogun and Tamogun. It's not absolutely nirmal. It is nirmal in relation to Rajogun and Tamogun. Okay? And what does its luminosity illuminate? It illuminates the states of the contents of Rajogun and Tamogun. That Prakash in Satogun illuminates the content of Rajogun and Tamogun. So he stays away from it. Okay? And what are these contents of Rajogun and Tamogun? These are calm or desire for Chetan, Krodh or anger, Lobh, desire for non-living, inanimate things, like a house or car, inanimate. That's called Lobh. Mad, intoxication, masti, having really fun. That's also Rajogun content. And Matsar, Irsha, envy. These are the contents of Rajogun and Tamogun. And Satogun illuminates these. So Satogun has knowledge of these and he stays away from, he can stay away from it. The three gunas are always together. Everywhere three gunas are together. That's why they call trigun. There is no one gun there at one time. They're always together. So when we say sattva or satogun, the other two gunas are also concomitantly present. Okay, they are there together. Huh? See what I'm saying? You cannot say there's only sattva there. With sattva, there is raj and tam also. We call concomitantly, they are together there. However, the sattva is predominant. In satogun, the sattva is predominant. And being luminous, it illuminates the content of the other two gunas. It illuminates the mind and senses. Although the sattva is free of vikar, as we saw before, but being in and functioning in the prakriti, it is only partially free of vikar. It cannot stay totally free of vikar because it's luminous, it's shining, but it's not, it's shining in comparison to rajogun and tamogun. So it's partially clear, not 100%. Sat is the condition of harmony. Gives you shanti, peace. Satoguni person has peace, peaceful. He doesn't like conflict. He wants to stay away from it. It binds with the attachment to happiness, sukh sangain, which is the realm of emotion. Sukh is the realm of emotions. So you become Satoguni also can become emotional, can't he? Start to cry on something. And that emotion is the way the gun binds the Jivatma. And Gyan, Jnana Sangain. Attachment to Gyan, that I am wise, I know this, which is the realm of thought. Gyan is the realm of thought, and Sukh is the realm of emotions. So emotion and thought, they both bind the Jivatma who is in Satogun. These create the two opposites. The emotion and the thought, they are opposite. They are not together. They are opposite to each other. Where there is thought, emotion doesn't come in there. It's cut and dry. Or what we'll call it, they create dvand in the mind. In our mind, they create pair of opposite, dvand. There always tussle going on. These present a threat to the security of the mind. Mind wants to be peaceful, but when there is a dvand, thought and emotion, it creates a little insecurity for the mind. Since in the mind, if the mind gets mind addicted to the thought or emotion, mind is not very happy because it'll get addicted to either one of them. You get really happy, you become addicted to happiness, don't you? Right? Even if you're not, you say, oh, I'm happy, you show off. That's addiction. And addiction to thought. Oh, this is my thought, this is the best. So, however, the mind functions in dvand. Mind only works in dvand, where there is dvand. And from time to time, when it gets tired of it, it wants harmony between the pair of opposite or the dvand. So mind wants harmony. Mind always works in dvand. but some time to time it wants harmony, and that harmony is called Sattva. Understand? Sattva is not something by itself. The harmony in the mind, because mind wants the harmony from time to time, wants to get away from this dvand, and that harmony is what is Sattva. It is the state of harmony which is the Sattva. The Sat is an artificial product of our mind, where the virtues are attractive to look at but have no fragrance. Okay? In the state of Sattva, the opposites are only balanced and harmonized. You follow? The opposite is those two opposites, what are they? Thought and emotion. They are only harmonized and balanced, but not transcended. They do not, you don't transcend them. Don't get away from them. They are still there, but they are harmonized and balanced. That is what the state of Sattva is, Satogun. We like the Sattva for its Sukh, because Sukh Sangen, Bhagavan said, Sukh Sangen. Sattva gives Sukh, or the happiness. However, when we avail of it, of Sattva, we get bind fast, bandhati. Bhagavan says, Sukh Sangen bandhati. We get attached, we get tied up. So we, the Jeev, must try to separate from the Sattva also. Because Sattva can also bind you. And we saw Sattva is nothing more than harmony of thought and emotion. Right? That's all Sattva is. But thought and emotion are always in the mind. So just balance it from time to time, you become Sattva. So the Jeev Atma has to get away from it too. Wants to get away from everything. So we got to get away from Sattva also. But then how will we get Gyan? Bhagavan said, Sattva is Gyan and happiness gives. It gives you Gyan and happiness. So how would we get Gyan then? And illumination. How would we get illumination? Because Sattva has illumination power. Gyan and illumination we want to get. But if we leave Sattva, how will we get it? Therefore, we must stay with the Sattva. We have to stay with Sattva. Since it propels us to do good things, Satogun propels us to do good things. Right? So we must stay with Satogun, even though it is binding. What is good thing? As following the path of Ishwar. Without coming on the Satogun, you cannot get on the path of Ishwar. However, now here's the key. We must let go the ego. Stay with Satogun, but we must let go of the ego which accompanies it. I am happy. No. You happy, but don't get into the I am happy. That I is ahankar, is ego. I am jnani. People should respect me. Right? Ego. Fine, pursue the jnana, but let go of the ego. Okay? When one does good deeds, the ego creeps up. Always. It is a law. And there the ego will creep up. People will say how good this person is. He has done such a great job, right? He is helping so many people. Huh? People talk about him and good newspaper articles come up, So what is all this? Ego is creeping up, right? There is a saying, भला कर कुएं में डाल, नेकी कर कुएं में डाल. Do good things, but don't brag about it. Don't let people know that you are doing good things. It's not you are who is doing it. Be totally covered up. Don't let anybody know you've done this. Anonymous. That's why in India they used to get anonymous daan. Right? They used to give money. Nobody knows where money comes from. When one does good deeds, the ego creeps up there. So we must keep vigil and keep the ego out. We must do that. If we want to be Satogun, we want to be doing good to people, we must be on the vigil, on the lookout all the time, so ego may not creep up there. Once ego creeps up, Sattva is good. However, once the ego comes in, this Sattva disappears. Sattva is gone. You're not in Sattva anymore. Where do you go? You go to Rajoguna then. Ego come in, right? Rajoguni has ego. So as soon as you are trying to be in Sattva, and as soon as the ego creeps up, your Sattva is gone, washed away. सब पे पानी फेर दिया. Therefore, Sat is also a hurdle for Jeev, which Jeev must go over, cross over. A poet said, बढ़त बढ़त संपत सलिल, बढ़त बढ़त संपत्ति सलिल, मन सरोज बढ़ जाए. As the sampati grows, बढ़त बढ़त sampat, and as the water grows for the lotus plant, man saroj बढ़ जाए. Man or saroj, lotus, they all go up higher with the water, don't they? The water level goes up, the flower of the lotus will keep going up, right up with the water level. Same way, when human being we get sampati, we also rise up with the sampati, don't we? I feel really good. I'm rich. Huh? I can do this now. I can do this. Everybody likes to do that, don't they? That's nature. So, बढ़त बढ़त संपत सलिल, मन सरोज बढ़ जाए. घटत घटत पुण्य ना घटे. जब संपत्ति कम हो गई, it reduces, your wealth is reduced, recession come in there, the stock market went down, sampati is down, and the water level in the pond is going down. What happened to the saroj? It wilts. It doesn't come down. Right? Same way, the man, which went up so high with the sampati, when the sampati disappears or gets less, man also get the same way. Huh? What happened to man? Dukh. Right? It's not the same state, which is sattva state. So this is the example, metaphor he gave, this poet. Ghatat ghatat punya na ghate, baru samul kumalaye. Man also become really wilted. Man wilts also, just like the flower of the lotus wilts. So, with the happiness and jnana, man's mind grows. His head gets bigger, right? Like the lotus which grows as the level of water rises. However, when the water level recedes, the stalk of the flower does not become short and the flower wilts. Similarly, when a man gets prestige and respect, which come from Satogun, Gyan, it is due to Satogun. Okay? Rajoguni doesn't get respect. Rajoguni, people put up with him. Right? Satoguni gets respect. When respect, it is due to Satogun. However, this prestige and respect give a boost to the ego and he will get bind fast in the sansar. Okay? So when the Satoguni gets praised and ego comes in, the Satogun goes away and he is bind to the sansar, bandhan, bandhati. In the next shlok, Bhagavan Sri Krishna described the Rajogun. Same thing about Rajogun. What Rajogun is like.
रजो रागात्मकं विद्धि तृष्णा संगसमुद्भवम् तन्निबध्नाति कौन्तेय कर्म संगेन देहिनम्.
Kaunteya, Kunti, the son of Kunti, Arjun, Bhagavan says, Vidhi, know, Rajo, the Rajogun, as what? Ragatmakam, of the nature of passion. Rag means passion. Ragatmakam, know Rajogun as Ragatmak. And as Trishna Sangam Samuddavam, giving rise to thirst. Trishna means thirst. And attachment, Sangam, Trishna Sangam. And what does it do? Tat, it, Nibandhati, binds fast, Dehinam, the Jivatma. And how does it do this? Karma Sangena. Through the attachment to karma and their phal. In Yog Darshan, in Patanjali says, Kriya Rajo Gun ka sarup hai. Activity is the form or the nature of Rajogun. So, Rajogun has thirst to act. Rajoguni is always wanting to do something. What they call type A personality, isn't it? What they call? Hyper. Yeah. I want to do this, I want to do this. They look around, there's so much going on. I want to do this too. Only have two hands to do things, but want to do 10 things at one time. Multitasking today, right? Nothing works. Everything falls apart later on. You can only do it for so long, and then your brain crashes. Computer crashes. That's the Rajogun. It has thirst to act. I mean, Trishna. Thirst, English is thirst, but it's Trishna. Trishna means deep down, I want to do this. He's really hungry to do this. Right? Trishna. Or what else? It has desire, akanksha. Rajogun has desire. Anytime you have desire to do something, like they say, burning desire to do, right? Know that Rajogun is taking over. Okay? I want to be the best. Then what? Somebody else will come later on and be better than you. You don't stay best all the time. Like somebody said, it's easy to climb the mountain, but then you can't stay there very long. Somebody will come push you out of there. Right? It has desire, akanksha, hoping for something, wanting something all the time. To have feeling of love for someone. All these represent the presence of Rajogun. Hmm? Where does the feeling of love come from? Mind, right? So now you answer the question. Rajogun acts in mind. That is the field of action of Rajogun. So the mind is always thinking, planning, dreaming, do this, do that. 10 different things. Yeah? This attachment to karma, why doing this? You are attached to doing karma, right? This attachment to karma, including its phal, because with karma there is phal. You don't do karma because just for doing karma. You're doing to some end, right? Which is the phal of that karma. I want to do this because this will lead me to this. Or this will give me this, right? I want to get a job so I can get paid, right? Okay. So, see, the Jnani is speaking here. So, this is what binds fast the embodied Jivatma. Therefore, the embodied Jivatma must perform dutiful actions. Not just any action, just don't get involved into multitasking, doing 10,000 different things. Do your dutiful action with anasakta bhav, without any attachment. You got married, now your duty is to raise the family. Right? Do it without having any attachment to that, this is my family, I'm doing this. No, this is your duty. You must do that. Right? Anasakta bhav, this is called anasakta bhav. And should not get entangled in new action for the sake of pleasure or accumulation, sangraha. Doing something, so I'm going to make $10 million and I'll be rich. Then you want to be billionaire, right? Sangraha, it's called sangraha. Right? So don't do anything like that. Do your dutiful action, karam, with no attachment. Why is saying that? That is how you get peace of mind. Okay? You're still doing your dutiful action and you don't have attachment. So mind is not entangled to anything. As we age, which we are all doing, we need to reflect on life getting shorter each day. Therefore, why waste the valuable moments in the pursuit of calm and lobh? Right? Why waste your time in calm and lobh? Desire, getting this, getting ahead, As you age, you have enough to live on, enjoy, pursue something which we are here to pursue. Now, we will take up rag. What is rag? Rajo ragatmaka viddhi. What is rag? In simple term, rag is called love or liking someone or something. That's what rag, some simple terms. The simple example of this is the love of a mother for her children. Rajogun has been given to mother. Every mother has Rajogun. Okay? That's nasargic, or it comes for being a mother. This resulted in her loving her child to the extent that this love for child becomes ragatmak. The rag itself becomes her atma. Okay? To the extent that she gets in bondage with her child. The child has grown up, is an adult. He even got married. But the mother says, treats her like a child still. Because of that love, rag, okay? Rag becomes her Atma. It goes within her for the child. So the thirst in Rajogun gives rise to hope and desire, which are followed by karma. Where does hope come? What the word hope come from? We hope we can get this, right? We are hoping. Doesn't mean we'll get it. Hope is just a desire, another form of desire. And it is followed by karma. Karma to fulfill that desire. Right? When one gets Rajogun, his fickle mind, Chanchal Man, wants to do many actions. Rajoguni acts with his mind always. Rajoguni will be acting with his mind only. And mind is Chanchal, fickle mind. Mind is fickle by nature. So he just runs around, jumps around, does things because he's working with the mind. Whereas action of Satoguni, they are from Buddhi. They originate in Buddhi, intellect. He decides on one thing and completes it. Satoguni will decide on something to do and he'll complete it to the end. Rajoguni will start 10,000 different things. It doesn't complete anything at a time. No? It may complete one or two, right? And then he'll start blaming because I couldn't do it because of this person or that thing happened or weather got bad, whatever. However, the mind creates indecisiveness. See, Satoguni works with the Buddhi. However, the mind creates indecisiveness, and Rishi Patanjali has said the mind does both, the sankalp and vikalp. That's what mind is. Mind is a state where sankalp and vikalp take place. Okay? Sankalp means, he said, sankalp vikalp atma no mana. Sankalp and vikalp is what what is this? Is man. The mind wonders whether to do this or not to do this. Sankalp means whether I should do this. Vikalp, or I shall not do this. He's not sure. Mind never sure of anything. Mind has two things always, two opposites in there working. It is the buddhi which steps in to tell mind this is the right thing to do. Right? And buddhi is satogun. Satogun works in buddhi. Rajogun works in through mind. And they are all together. Being in the pair of opposite, sankalp and vikalp, this duvidha, this duality, indecisiveness is what we call man. That is what man is. Man is not something sitting in here. No. The brain is not man. Man is man, which is indecisiveness of Jivatma, is man. So man is not an entity, it is the way of thinking. We always think of everything in two terms, right? Duality. Rising above this way of thinking is called buddhi. When you rise above the duality of sankalp and vikalp, that means you have decided something now. And that is decisiveness and that is buddhi. So now buddhi is active. This is dependent on one's sanskar. If our sanskars are such that we will be tangled up in our mental thing, rajogun, then we will always be doing that. If sanskar are so that we become little satogun in there, then the satogun will step in and decide which is the right thing to do. Whether you do it or not, that's not it. Satogun will tell you what is the right thing to do. Then it's up to you to do it. This is why, according to one action which is wrong may be correct according to another. According to one person, an action is wrong, the other person, to him, is correct. He doesn't see anything wrong in it. Right? Because one has satogun. He knows what is right, what is wrong. But the other person doesn't have satogun working. So he sees no different, no problem doing this. If you want to steal, fine. I mean, what's wrong with it? Valmiki did it, why can't I do it? Right? The buddhi is the discriminating power which is higher than man. So buddhi is higher than man. But vikar and kam are above buddhi. Now buddhi has got something higher than it. It's vikar and kam. Bhagavan Krishna told that in chapter 3 at the end. When Arjuna asked, knowing something is wrong, why a person does this? Okay. Bhagavan Krishna told that in last stroke. So vikar and kam, they are above buddhi and can corrupt the buddhi. That is how buddhi get corrupted. Kam is very powerful. Tell a teenager to do the right thing. Huh? Kam is working there. It corrupts the buddhi. And he says, this is the right thing to do, you are wrong. You see what I'm saying? So kam and vikar, they are above buddhi and they can corrupt the buddhi. They can convince the buddhi that wrong is right. Our desire too can corrupt buddhi. Our desire also corrupt the buddhi. We want it so badly, we justify certain things. Right? Desire is very powerful. When it is toward jad, it is called lobh. And for the living, it is called kam. There are two sides of one coin. Now Bhagavan said, Trishna Sangam Samudhavam. This is two-edged. Trishna or Sangam. It is a two-edged sword. In that, from what the thirst for action and attachment are born. Why? Because it says, where they are born out of. What? The thirst for action and attachment. Where they are born out of. What they are born out of. And attachment, and what is born from the thirst and attachment. There is thirst and attachment. The question is what they are born out of and what is born out of them. So this is a two-edged sword. As with seed and the tree, seed makes the tree makes the seed. Right? Seed comes out of the tree and tree comes out of seed. Same way, Trishna Sangam. It comes out something and then something comes out of it. The thirst and attachment are born from Rajogun. Okay? Just listen to this. Thirst and attachment are born out of Rajogun. And from Rajogun are born, and the thirst, Rajogun is born out of thirst and attachment. Trishna Sangam Samudra. Trishna or sang, attachment. Rajogun is born out of those two things, and from and from Rajogun these two things are born. Okay? As in chapter 2, Shlok 48, Bhagavan said, Yogastha kur karmani sangam tyakta dhananjaya. Sang ko chodo. When you leave the sang, be a sang, Trishna will also go away. So you are free from this dosh. So it is the attachment which is problematic and not the action or karma. Karma is not a problem. Problem is attachment to karma or its fruit of action, phal. That is what problem we have. We want something from what we do. We don't do it as our dutiful action to do and forget about it. Whatever comes, comes. Whatever you get, tell Ishwar, this is your given from you. You take it and then partake as a prasad. Right? That is the right way to live. So it is attachment which is problematic. Attachment to anything is problematic. I get attached to this chair, right? So when I want to get up, chair gets up with me. Right? I can move around because of attachment. That's what attachment is. The action is being performed by Devta Shakti. So the action is not a problem. Attachment to it is a problem. The attachment comes from Rajogun, which makes the Jeev act with the idea. Why? How does it get attached? Not knowing that action is being done by Devta Shakti. Devta is doing all the action. But Rajogun makes him think, and Jeev acts with the idea that he is the doer. I am the one who is doing it. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? Acts, everything being done by Devta Shakti. We can't see it. Right? Unless we have Divya Chakshu like Bhagavan Krishna gave to Arjuna. He could see them. We can. But Gyan tells that everything is done by Devta Shakti, but Rajogun in us tells us, oh, you are the doer. You are the one who is doing it. Okay? You see, it is Jeev who gets an idea in his mind based on the vast information which has been stored in it. Now take a moment and think. Our mind, not the brain, our mind has been given to us from day one when creation took place, in the very early, first time. And that same mind has been with us all along. It's not going to leave us, it's going to be same. And God knows how many lives we have lived, through how many Srishti. And all the thoughts which came in, they're all stored in our mind. So there is vast number of ideas in our mind. So Jeev makes decision based on that. In vast information which has been stored in it, it is perfectly normal for this to happen. Because we have mind, man. It's normal. Man will store everything. Whatever we perceive, we see, think, man will store it. So it's perfectly normal to act according to that. If Jeev did not go any further, for this to happen, that yes, I perceived, I saw this, and if Jeev doesn't go any further than that, follow me now. further than that the idea came to his mind. That's it. What will happen? The idea came and gone. Right? It came and died, finished. But the Rajoguni, one of the modes of Prakriti, Rajogun in us, makes Jeev think that it is his idea and he must proceed further. You follow? The reality is, yes, we have ideas in our mind, and it's normal for the idea to show up. When we see something, the idea will come from the stored information. But if we stop right at their point and don't proceed any further, the idea will die. You will forget about it. Right? But Rajogun in us convinces us that, hey, it is your idea. You must pursue it further. You work on it. It's your idea. What are you talking about? Right? Then the idea is talked about. It becomes Vachik Karam. First one was Anarabdha. Vachik. And then it is physically put into action because Rajogun convinced Jivatma that it is your idea, you must do it, you must complete it to the end. So you get fruit. At every step, the Rajogun encourages Jeev by making him think that it is his action. Okay? It's a Rajogun which is doing that. So who is doing the action? Jeev is engaged, but Rajogun is who is making him do that. So who's tying it up? Not the karma. If he does the karma without the fruit, without the attachment, the karma cannot tie him. Now, do not think that one who has risen above the three gunas has no Rajogun. A person who becomes gunatit also has Rajogun in him. The Rajogun works in him also. However, there the attachment part is not there. The one person who has risen above gunas, Rajogun is working in him. But the attachment part is not present. He doesn't get attached. Yogastha kur karmani sangam tattva dhananjay. That is the yoga. Arjun was Rajoguni, very Rajoguni. He's got full of Rajogun. How many wives he had? Right? Bhagavan Krishna married his sister, right? His Rajogun has to be finished, worked out, played out. But Bhagavan Krishna did that, told him, do it without attachment. Right? And he did that. In the end, he said, Karishye vachanam ta. Whatever you say, Lord, that's what I'll do. He has no attachment. He's just following the orders then. So we can say that the buddhi operates in sattva and the mind or man in rajogun. That is why it is said you can win only if you conquer over the mind. Man ke hare har hai, man ke jeete jeet. That's what that means. Control your mind. Because mind, rajogun is mind. Mind works in rajogun all the time. So control rajogun. Then you can be in satogun. In the next shlok, we'll take some time. Bhagavan tells in what ways the tamogun binds the jeev.
Tamastvajnanajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya nidrabhihi tannibadhnati bharata.
Bhagavan says, Arjun, Vidhi, no, Tama, Tamogun, Agyanajam, born out of Agyan, ignorance. Tamogun is born out of ignorance, Agyan. Mohanam Sarvadehinam, stupefying all embodied beings. Agyani, who look upon their body as their Atma. So, and Nibandhati, binds fast, know it, bind fast the Jivatma. It does this in three ways. So, Tamogun is born out of Agyan and it binds Jivatma in three ways, Bhagavan says. First is Pramad, carelessness or miscomprehension. It's Pramad. Do something, then don't do it right and forget what matters. Second is Alasya, indolence, laziness. Tamogun makes a person lazy. Pramadi and lazy. And Nidra, sleep. He loves to sleep. Kumbhakaran, right? Example is Kumbhakaran, right? In this state of Agyan, one gets stupefied by glitter of Prapanch. Right? Prapanch is very attractive. Look what all things are made out of Prapanch. Electric car, right? iPhone, iPad, all these things are. And they attract people, right? They create attraction. So what is all inanimate thing? Prapanch. So get Agyan and gets stupefied by glitter of Prapanch. All beings below human beings are Tamogun Yoni. Humans having no Gyan indulge in Rajogun and it can lead them to Tamogun. Agyanajam. Tamogun is born out of Agyan. And those who have no Gyan, they will work in Rajogun because there is no Sat. Satogun has Gyan. Remember that? Gyan and Prakash. Satogun, Lakshana, the characteristic. But they are not. They don't have Gyan. So they don't have luminosity of that Gyan. Gyan is Prakash. So they are in Rajogun and they act and go down to Tamogun. The Rajoguni seeks creature comfort. He enjoys resting comfortably. I need a nice chair, right? Prop up my feet. All sort of tasty food. All kind of drinks. Smoothies, this and that. God knows. He will have a bar. He will have so many alcoholic drinks in there. This all Rajogun. Call people, have a beer. Come on. However, he works towards earning the means to do this. He works hard and then he enjoys it, right? Rajogun. But the Tamoguni, due to Agyan, goes deeper into these. Rajoguni will just enjoy the drink. Tamoguni will get drunk and then get intoxicated and then get addicted to it. That's what Tamogun does. And become careless. Pramadi, he becomes totally careless. He doesn't do anything carefully. Lazy and loves to sleep. The Gyan says that Pramad entails, number one, not doing what is worth doing. Pramad means not doing what is worth doing. And doing which is not worth doing. There's two things in here. Unnecessary expenditure. Doing things which are not worth doing are like unnecessary expenditure. Worthless actions as gambling, picking up fights, bothering others, humans and animals. That's all tamogun. Mohanam, to stupefy, means that the tamogun keeps Jivatma from knowing the difference between Sat and Asat, and duty and which is not duty. Tamogun keeps person from knowing what is his duty and what he should not be doing. It's not his duty to do. Sat and Asat. Alasya, it creates laziness, make person lazy. Procrastination, that's also a tamogun characteristic. Nidra, sleep. Needed sleep is okay. Body needs some sleep. Needed sleep is okay, but unnecessary sleep will lead to alas, laziness. When get up, oh, your body hurts. Person sleeps 8, 10, 12 hours a day. When he gets up, he will have ache and pain. Alas, which is a dosh or a fault, that is a fault in us. So, in Sattu there is balancing of opposites, in Rajogun there is conflict of opposites, but in Tamogun there is a confusion of opposites. Okay. These two opposites, to do or not to do, or what should be done, what is right, what is wrong, is confusion. Total confusion, Tamogun. So how can he do anything? A confused state of mind cannot achieve anything. The intellect of the confused is undecided, wanders in all directions. Intellect is there, buddhi is there, but is undecided. It's also affected by it. And it looks in all directions for numerous aims. Three guna pervade all creatures, all creation. We human move from confusion of the opposite, which is tamogun, to balance of the opposite, which is satogun, through conflict of the opposite, which is rajogun. So when we move from tamogun to satogun, we move through rajogun, which is the mind has defined. Rajogun is defined by mind. In Sattu there is light, prakash, there is happiness, which is sukh, and jivatma and are attached, there is attachment, sukh and prakash, attachment. In Rajogun, the attachment is karma. Rajogun is attached to karma. He is totally dedicated, I am going to do this. He only sees karma, he doesn't see anything else. But in Tamogun, instead of attachment, both of them had attachment. The Satogun has attachment to happiness and Gyan. Rajogun has attachment to karma. But in Tamogun, instead of attachment, there is moha, delusion. That's the difference. It's gone beyond attachment. It became deluded with those things. Tam means darkness. For example, someone had a few drinks and a good meal, then goes to sleep for this duration. While he is intoxicated, he feels pleasure. He is happy. Right? However, when he wakes up, he experiences headache and other pains. In addition, when he wakes up, he makes mistake. He is never totally awake. He is awake, but he is not totally awake because he is still under the influence of alcohol. So he makes mistakes. This is pramad, miscomprehension. Tamogun causes delusion in mind of Atma. It causes delusion, becomes delusionary. Moh. The characteristic of its sarup is bondage. Tamogun is bondage. The other two cause bondage. But tamogun in itself is bondage. it has ego. So it has to have bondage in it. We humans must remove tamogun and even the rajogun to bring satogun in us. The satogun or sattu can be brought about through buddhi, because buddhi acts in satogun. If sleep is a result of hard work, that is the right sleep. When you work hard, get tired, body must go to sleep. To remove tam, one needs to do hard work. What kind of work? Hard work, but dutiful work. Next, Bhagavan is telling Arjun what these three gunas do prior to placing Jivatma in bondage. What happens to Jivatma before it goes into bondage? What these three gunas do?
Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajah karmani bharata jnanamavritya tu tamaha pramade sanjayatyuta.
Bharat, Arjun, descendant of Bharat, Satyam, Sattvam, the Sattva, Sanjayati, draws and indulges one into Sukhe, happiness, Sukh. While Rajogun attracts and indulges in Karmani, doing the karma. See, the draw. See, Satogun will draw you into happiness, Sukh. Rajogun will draw into doing karma. Come on, beta, do karma. Come on, do something. Right? But tamogun, the tam, indeed, after shrouding the jnana, because there is no jnana, is shrouded by tamogun, sanjayatyu, ut sanjayati, draws even pramad, draws him into pramad, miscomprehension. Bhagavan says that when one has satogun, it puts him into happiness or sukh. He becomes a learned person, right? Jnani. Earns money. The money grew and he enjoys the happiness and becomes attached to it. Satogun gets attached that way. That's what Satogun does to a person, to get attached to. Mind being the work of Rajogun, this gun indulges a person in one karma after another and gets entangled in the karma. He is entangled in the karma. He gets in the bondage due to his karma. The tamogun being the lowest of the three, being born out of a jnana, shrouds the jnana, clouds the wisdom, and impels one into pramad, alasya, indolence, laziness, and sleep. Satogun being luminous illuminates. It has cleanliness of antahkaran. Satogun brings nirmalta, cleanliness of the antahkaran, which is man, buddhi, chit, ahankar. They are all purified there. They are all shining. Whereas tamogun is hostile to these traits. Not how does it do? It becomes hostile to it. Get them out of there. When tamogun comes, all those things, it kicks them out. Hostile to it. Earlier, it was mentioned that we must remove tamogun and rajogun and cultivate satogun in us. So how can we do this? The purification of senses and antahkaran come from meditating on Ishwar through jap of his name, of his naam. Using a rosary, mala, jap mala. That is the way to cleanse yourself. That's the only way to cleanse yourself. Because Ishwar is purest. He is pure of the pure. No dag, no stain, nothing. Gyan, he is Gyan. He is love. He is everything. So when you meditate on His name using a rosary, that cleanses your antahkaran. Now Bhagavan tells that although all three gunas are present in all beings, by suppressing the two, how one guna increases in all beings. Now you say somebody is satoguni, but you say rajoguni, tamoguni also there. Other person rajoguni, but other two gunas are also there. So how he becomes satoguni or rajoguni when the other two are there? He says one guna suppresses the other two. So he says how it does that in next sloka.
रजस्तमश्चाभिभूय सत्वं भवति भारत रजसत्वं तमश्चैव तमसत्वं रजस्तथा.
Bhagavan tells Arjun, Bharat, do not think that when there is one gun present, in the others disappear. What happens is rajas tamascha abhibhuya. By suppressing, abhibhuya means suppressing rajogun and tamogun, satyam bhavati. Sattva rises. Satogun rises by suppressing rajogun and tamogun and becomes predominant. And the other two become concomitant. Means anushangik. They become subordinate. When sattva rises due to power of our sattvic karma, see, it all come from karma. It suppresses the other two gunas. For example, if someone did 70% sattvic action in their life, like jap, simran, or Bhagavan, simran, Ishwar, Naam simran, puja, helping others, and then 20% of his actions were rajoguni, going to party. So 20% were rajoguni, doing family work, and the remainder, 10% were tamoguni, like getting angry at somebody, hinsa. This will be sattva predominant. Because 70% of the karma were satoguni, 20% were rajoguni, 10% tamoguni. So it becomes sattva pradhan or primary satoguni. That person is satoguni. In the second case, raja satye tamaschaiva. The rajogun becomes predominant by suppressing satogun and tamogun. Here, what happens? Rajogun is 70%. Other one, what it did is suppresses the satogun and tamogun. So here, rajogun is 70%, satogun is 20%, for example, and tamogun is 10%. Similarly, tama sattvam rajasthat. Tamogun suppresses sattva and rajogun, both. Here the proportion of karma may be tamogun 70%, sat 20%, and rajogun 10%. It's just an example. So our karma, if they are predominantly satoguni karma, and we do some rajoguni, we have to do, there is no way you get out of it. And there are some tamoguni karma, we get angry sometime once in a while, even Jnani gets angry. So that person is primarily satoguni person. Other one is rajoguni, because rajoguni is more than other two. And tamoguni same way. The three gunas are in all of us, but their level rises and fall. In this way, the three gunas multiplied by three levels of the gunas, uttam, madhyam, kanishta, high, medium and low level, result in what you call navgraha. These navgraha come from that. These grahas simply tells us that what guna our karma falls in. The graha simply will tell us that the upcoming karma is from our past, what karma they come from. They fall under sattva, raj or tam. So, when somebody says, I am under the influence of Shani or Mangal, know that the coming up is coming up, then that our tamogun karma phal are arriving. When Shani or Mangal comes in, whatever our tamoguni karma were there, their phal is gonna express there now. Kashto, you will be miserable. You could have lot of problem or whatever, health problem, money problem. Get into fight. It is Brahaspati. If it is Brahaspati, which is upcoming, then we will be experiencing our Satoguni karma phal. So these graha are simply telling us what karma is coming up, what phal you're going to be getting. Nothing else. That's all it is. It is 3 levels of guna and 3 gunas. Multiplied make navgraha. That's how guna come into play. Guna everywhere. Now we will examine how this happens, how these advances occur. Bhagavan said that Maya, my primordial Shakti, is Gunamayi, meaning that it is made up of 3 gunas. In chapter 7, Shlok 14. The entire Srishti or creation is pervaded by these 3 gunas. Maya is unable to see Ishwar. Maya cannot see Ishwar or Jeev. But Ishwar sees Maya. Thus, he sees all that is within Maya, whatever is going on, whole creation. This includes all Jeev, Devta, Prapanch, the entire creation. Ishwar sees everything at all times. So, the Maya is like a veil which we, the Jeev, must pierce through to get to Ishwar. Okay, Maya has created a veil and we cannot see Ishwar unless we pierce through that veil of Maya, cut through the Maya. Bhagavan says that Maya is extremely difficult to overcome. Mam Maya Durattaya. You cannot do that. Why? Because in Sanskrit the word guna also means rope. So by nature Maya is like a 3-stranded rope. The guna keep Jeev entangled in Srishti by enticing the Jeev to engage in karma. So Jeev remains deluded and keeps performing karma. Maya sees all karma as they are performed by us, and upon their completion, when they become prarabdha, they are assigned to a devata based on the guna of that karma. So our karma dictates which of the 3 gunas define us. Our karma accumulates until their fruits are administered. They don't go anywhere. They stay there. They are in line. This one next, this one next, this one next. They are there. Thus, we are constantly moving through gunas. These are not based on just one lifespan, one janma. These advance through many, many janmas. We have accumulated these karma for many, many lives. In human, there are 3 bodies. One which we can see. It is called the gross body or sthul sharir. We all can see. This is all sthul sharir, right? It's called annamay kosh also. It lives and thrives on food. It's got to have food. Cannot live without food. The second body is called finer body, the sukshma sharir. The karma of the 3 gunas stay with this body. Whatever karma we do of 3 gunas, they fall into each guna, they stay with this body. It is not visible to the eyes. We cannot see. That is why, because our eyes are sthul, and that is sukshma. This is why Bhagavan Krishna gave Divya Chakshu to, or divine sight to Arjun, so that he could see Yoga Aishwarya of Bhagavan. As these three guna get fortified through our karma, they go into the finer body, Sukshma Sharir. All our karma is based on our desire or vasana. So there is also a vasana sharir in there. In the Sukshma Sharir, there is vasana sharir. We have built up desires in us, and we didn't get fulfilled. And so deep desire, it does not want to leave us. It's gonna go into the Sukshma Sharir as a vasana sharir. This finer body, the Sukshma Sharir, has our vasana, and it all goes with us when we leave this gross body. It all goes with it, doesn't leave, it will be with us. Our next birth is based on the guna in the finer body. Whatever guna is predominant in the finer Sukshma Sharir, our vasana, that is kind of birth will be next birth. Next Sharir we'll get. Beyond the finer body or the Sukshma Sharir, there is another body called Karan Sharir. These two goes with us. Now Bhagavan tells the characteristic of when one guna rises suppressing the other two. First, he takes up Sattva guna.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानं यदा तदा विद्यात् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत.
Yada asmin dehe, when in this body, and sarva dwareshu, in senses. These senses are the dwar of this body. And antakaran, jnanam prakash upjayate. Jnana and its lights dawns in us. Jnana and its light dawns. Dawns in what? In our antakaran senses. Or the light shines in them. Tada iti vidyat. Then it should be understood. Ut sattvam vividham. The sattva is predominant. Next comes Rajogun. In next shlok.
लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमः स्पृहा रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ.
Bhartarshava, Arjun, Rajasi Vidvad. Upon the increase of Rajogun, Vridhi of Rajogun, Lobha Pravritti, activities of greed and calm start in the mind. And from this, Karmananu Arambha, from this start the Sakam Karma, because this Kamna we do under the Karma. Asham Spraha, unrest of the mind and longing for the enjoyment of the sense objects. Spraha is longing, the enjoyment of sense objects. Etani jayante, all these arise. So Arjun, when Rajogun become predominant, greed, desire for inanimate, and calm, desire for living start, and fulfill them, sakam karma, are undertaken, unrest in the mind and longing for the enjoyment of sense object arise. When Rajogun comes in. Now Tamogun.
अप्रकाशो प्रवृत्तिश्च प्रमादो मोह एव च तमस्येतानि जायन्ते Vivruddhe Kuru Nandana.
Guru Nandan, Arjun, tamasi vivruddhe. When tamogun increases, then in mind and senses, aparkash, darkness or lack of light, which was in sattva, happens, and this disinclination to perform obligatory duties, apravittascha, the obligatory duties, and you have no inclination to do that. Pramada chamoha, frivolity and stupor. So when tamogun increases, then there is darkness within, not wanting to do one's duties. And if he does any of these duties, he makes mistakes and a state of stupor, then these are which arise in tamogun. Next, Bhagavan tells how to protect from rajogun and tamogun and how to move from sattva, because we have to get out of sattva also. This we will take up next time. Jai Shri Krishna.